And we're live.
My lats are so big that I have to walk back.
And we're live. It took me 2 tries on the MacBook. Dude, I gotta get it.
Happy Memorial Day.
Oh yeah, Happy Memorial Day.
Yep.
What does Memorial Day mean to you, Mark? For the past 10 years?
It means Murph. It means Murph.
How many times have you done Murph?
I would say that's probably my first CrossFit workout ever.
Really?
So, this was my cousin Dan. We call him Captain. Cap. He emailed me. I remember vividly, even reading the email. He's like, "Dude, check out this workout.
Yeah.
This Navy SEAL does it every day."
Yeah.
That's all I remember from it.
Yeah.
And then so we took out the pull-up station. You know those individual pull-up stations that also have a dip station that comes out?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So we pulled that out in the front yard, and then there's like 4 or 5 of us, and we did this Navy SEAL workout. Later, I found out it was Murph.
Dude,
so we ran down the block a few times, and then we didn't even know what kipping pull, anything, so we were just doing like just
strict
surviving. Yeah, strict.
Did you guys wear a vest?
We can't kip on that individual stand, that pull-up stand, right? Yeah. No vest. We didn't have access to that.
Yeah. It wasn't really encouraged like that yet.
Probably 12 years ago. So anywho, and then following every year we've done some sort of variation. I've done every variation, even like longer runs or
around the block, Murph.
We've done that.
Ooh.
I wanted to do like a FixFitness strongman Murph, but I didn't want to take too much away from it.
Probably tried that last year with the sandbag. That didn't go well. I mean, he finished it, but he said it was a bad idea, like most things he does.
We would talk about this anyways, right? It's like we do. We'll have a lot of our clients do Murph, right? Or members.
I was gonna say.
And now it's like, what we're gonna talk about for the next 2 weeks is people are probably fucked up,
wrecked from Murph. Yeah, and it's actually not even just CrossFit gyms too. I'm treating a Navy SEAL right now.
Murph is bigger than. The workout Murph is bigger than CrossFit.
Yeah, but CrossFit gyms are the ones that host it because you guys have big space for it.
True.
But yeah, I saw a Navy SEAL and I was like, "You want to come do Murph at my gym?" And he was like, "Come on, no." He's like, "You haven't done that workout?"
Yeah.
He's like, "I've done it on non-Murph day."
They do it every time for a workout.
So real quick if anybody doesn't know, tell what an RX Murph is.
That's un-American.
And who it's for. I know it's very un-American if you have to ask. You're not, it's like. If you
damn commie.
It's like if you have to ask how much it is, you can't afford it. It's like if you have to ask what Murph is,
you shouldn't do it.
You're not an American. That's to tell you how un-American you are. No, tell who it's about and what RX is.
Lieutenant Michael Murphy. So there's a book, Lone Survivor, and then movie with Mark Wahlberg. So
bad actor, but
what?
I hate Mark Wahlberg, dude.
Some movies are bad. And some are pretty good.
He's actually all right in that movie.
Yeah.
And other things, though. Ugh, terrible.
So, if you want the backstory...
Lone Survivor is a good book. I highly recommend it.
Read the book first, in my opinion.
Yeah, book is way better, as most things.
You Google it, it'll pop up. And then, so it's... A hero workout in CrossFit is... They honor a military... Someone that serves, like fire, police... And then they paid the ultimate sacrifice, He died in line of service, and then they create a workout in their honor. So for us as CrossFitters, we call them hero workouts. We suffer because these workouts are usually pretty brutal, but it's, they paid the ultimate sacrifice. We can hurt a little in a workout, no big deal. Yeah. It's the one workout you shouldn't bitch and moan and complain.
Because Murph actually did this workout on his own.
He called it body armor because he's like doing it every single morning. He wakes up, he'll do this. Like, we do it once a year, and we have to train for it.
Yeah.
But he does it.
We have a whole episode on how to recover from it.
Exactly.
And he just did it every morning in the back of a Humvee. Jesus.
Wearing a 20-pound vest, which no one really does. I mean, there's only a handful. I mean, how many vests do you have in a gym, right?
Yeah.
So the workout is 1 mile run. You have to do that. You can't break that one up. You do that. Then you work on 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 air squats or bodyweight squats. And then you do another mile run at the end. The middle part, there's some like different variations of it, but the middle part you could break it up however you want. So most people do what we call Cindy rounds. You do 5 pull-ups, 10 push-ups, 15 squats. The easiest way to do it, you do 20 rounds of that, and then you're done. At our gym, you can break it up however you want. You can do half a Murph, quarter Murph.
Partner Murph is what I'll.
It's a lot. I understand you want to suffer, and again, it's taking that old school mentality too far, right? You can always take stuff too far. It's like,
well, the first CrossFit thing, the first time I stepped foot in a CrossFit gym was your gym for Murph, and they were like, "You want to join?" And I was like, I mean, I kind of do, but then I was like, I probably shouldn't. And then watching everyone work, I was like, oh, it's a good thing I didn't just jump in and try to do that.
We understand the repercussions of doing Murph.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot that happens to your body when you go do, like, when people get sore in workouts, they always get afraid of, like, the heavy lifts in a workout, like DT or some sort of other hero workout where it's barbell. And if you've done CrossFit enough, the ones that kill you and wreck your body are the ones that are high volume, low load, which is like body weight.
Yeah.
Because you don't slow down, you just keep going.
Yep.
So we had you guys in because we usually like have some sort of big recovery plan and or even a prehab stuff. We had you guys taping people, getting people ready. So
yeah, and then the next year I actually did it, and it was awful. So then last year I was like, I'm just gonna do Cindy, you know, the
5, 10, 15.
Yeah, 5, 10, 15, and I got about 4 rounds in, looked up at the clock and went, looks like a half Cindy year for me. I'm done. Like, I just don't want to have my hands rip. My triceps, I remember being just shot. I remember my pecs being blown up. We'll get into the common ones in a second, but it's a really fun workout. The reason I loved it, or I love it at Mark's gym, is because it's free for people to show up and do it, and there's like literally like hundreds of people.
Yeah, so this is the only event. This is our favorite event, one of our favorite events, because in most events, like race and comps, you have heats.
Mm-hmm.
This one, I know other gyms do that, but I'd recommend trying it one year, because you take away the whole, like, oh my god, if I don't have my own station and pull a bar, then my time's not going to be accurate. This is not about your fucking time. It's about suffering with brothers, sisters next to you. So we start in one big fucking heat. 100 people
running down the street.
It looks like a start of a 5K.
Yeah.
You got people in strollers, people dressed up, red, white, and blue. It's like people carrying fucking sledgehammers.
Yeah.
Like a rifle, and then it just works.
Yeah.
It just works. People will find a station, wait in line, and everyone gets a good
got the firemen down the street
giving
water out, watching us run by, which is really cool. All the girls go like, is that an optical illusion? Are the firefighters really there? Is that just what I'm seeing when I'm dead tired?
It's a good event. Everyone should do Murph to some degree, and it is for everyone because you can modify it.
It's a good point about the camaraderie part of it, because I think when people do, because I did half last year, right? So I was like, so this year I want to partner, not because I want to do half again, but because I want to suffer with somebody counting with me, someone pushing me.
It's an event.
It's just more fun.
It's a memorable thing for you.
Yep.
So then the more you can remember it, the more appreciative you are.
Yep.
People that sacrifice.
We're chatting on that first mile together. We're pushing each other on that final mile.
Exactly.
It's just way better than when we celebrate after and have beers in the parking lot.
Because there are people that are super serious about their time, and we're like, well, then do it on a different day.
Yeah.
If you want to be unbothered, you want your own station, you on your own clock, then do it on a different day. But this day is not, Memorial Day Murph is not designed to be your day. It's not your day.
Dude, and chances are it's Memorial Day weekend. What did you do Sunday night when you didn't have work the next day?
Rhabdo's a huge issue, rhabdomyolysis. Mm-hmm. So you hear about it being, CrossFit's dangerous because of rhabdo. It's happens, but it's rare. But on Murph, it's not rare. We have different on our affiliate owner page on Facebook. And it's not like the unfit people. It's usually the coach or something. Most likely it's the dehydration.
Yeah, you're probably partying over there. Yeah,
Friday or Saturday.
Saturday, Sunday, I was at the beach.
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
drinking.
There's things that your body's already not accustomed to, and then your body's definitely not accustomed to that volume. So.
I don't remember last year, but I'm almost 100% sure. Like Saturday, Sunday, I was like out of town, hanging out with friends or something, and I came back Monday like, all right, I gotta go do Murph real quick, and then that's when I was like 3-4 rounds in, like, this is gonna be bad.
That's why we don't push people to, you're not doing full Murph, or you're breaking it. It's like,
that's what the heats kind of encourage it too. Like the first heat is like, these are the guys that are gonna finish.
Yeah.
And then the second heat can go after that.
Nope.
It's like, nah.
Since people are gonna be beat up, because you can't help it. It's like the whole idea of FixFit is not to scare you from doing what you love. If you go surfing, you're gonna have bumps and bruises.
Yep.
If you do CrossFit, If
And
you do a CrossFit event like Murph, you're going to be fucked up.
Anytime you do 100
from
pull-ups, we always hear of rips in your hand.
200 push-ups, that's like 300 shoulder movements.
Right. So, the first injury we'll see is probably ripped hand, callus. We can't do anything for you for that. But then once you get that ripped hand in the middle of the workout,
you're going to compensate.
You're going to compensate right away. Yeah. So what do you think number one injury?
Well, let's touch on that. People think ripped hand. To be fair, there is a point of volume, right? If you do X pull-ups or kettlebell swings, your hands are going to rip. Like there's a breaking point.
Yeah.
But you can really, if you rip often on regular workouts, there's a mechanical fault that's causing that. So I used to rip all the time. I used to get really sweaty hands, for 3 to 5 years. But
nervous.
All of the above, I haven't ripped in a long time.
Yeah.
But if you have better grip, mechanics, lats, teres, you shouldn't rip that much.
True. Take it out of your grip.
Mm-hmm. Because what happens is you got to imagine when you're gripping that gymnastics grip, you're holding on to the pull-up bar. Your knuckles are supposed to be over the bar. Yeah. Right? And then your elbow has or your wrist has a bend, and everything hinges from the wrist. Mm-hmm. So the knuckles will ideally kind of like stay over the bar, so there's less shearing. Right. If you don't have the grip strength of the teres or the pec to accommodate that, so your knuckles start on top of the bar, and then they slide all the way back and down. So every single rep, you're like trying to, your hand is on that bar like a throttle. Yeah. It's like so there's so much.
That's where the rips happen.
Exactly, but you're doing that because you can't hold on to that position. Mm-hmm. So then they're like, oh, I just rip all the time because it's pull-ups. Well, you can get stronger and not rip as much. Yeah.
And that's what we've seen. Tape, but then what we usually see is
tape doesn't do shit.
I taped it. I have these. What are those?
That's the same bullshit as wearing like knee sleeves for bad squat mechanics.
They wear that sleeve over their hands. Yeah. That I have some of those waddies, but I've torn with waddies on because I have a grip problem. Yep. So you can't hook grip a pull up on.
So let's just say break it down into simple mechanics. You have a lot of shoulder movements, pulling and pushing, and we already know by now, hopefully you guys have been following along, it's just an upper trap dominance issue. So every time you push or pull, you're shrugged up, your shoulders are up into your ears, and then you're not using your pec, your lats, your teres.
It's inevitable.
Because
so let's start with pull up. That's the first one. Yep. Tweak the upper trap on the pull up.
A lot of bicep tears. Not even, I wouldn't say tears, but like injuries, because when you're relying on the kip, you're swinging and you're pulling, and since you're only using that part of the bicep, the inside bicep, people would tweak that.
Yep. And then if we move over to the push-up, on our FixFit style push-ups, which is actually just a correct push-up, hands out a little wider. As you go down into the push-up position, you should be pulling back your mid-traps, lats, and then when you come into the press, those should still be on, and you should be finishing with your pecs.
Like the bench press, right? Right. Same movement pattern, same horizontal plane. Right. So let's just say, in simple terms, it's push-ups like a bench. Yep. So in the bench, there's a loading phase on the way down. Mm-hmm. You load the lats, talk to any powerlifter, watch any YouTube video, and then on the way up, the elbows flare out because they're engaging delt, pec, teres. Same thing with the push-up.
What happens after 150 of them?
Or if you're not even...
Those get tired very quickly.
We had our little jiu-jitsu FixFit workout yesterday, and we're just saying that you have to change the intent, the mindset. Right. So if you're working these FixFit drills, but you're not applying it to the workout because you're frazzled, then you're fucked. Right. So yes, there's a buffer that you have stronger pecs and less upper trap dominance when you're doing these drills. But if you're going bad out of hell doing 200 push-ups with all upper trap...
it's going to eventually fatigue. Because these pecs that we're training to not just to turn on, now they're on. Now they're fatiguing when you're 125 reps in. Yeah. You have to start using a lot of tricep. We see a lot of tricep and elbow pain. And then maybe start shrugging up into the trap too.
Since it's so fresh, hopefully you guys can think back that you'll find that one side was burning a lot. Right. They're like, oh man, my right tricep was on fire. It's like, that's a problem.
It means your right pec's not firing.
It's like, exactly. It's like, what the hell? Why do you only feel one tricep on 200 push-ups? Or
I'd say on my push-ups, I felt a lot of upper trap, so I'd use a lot of my upper trap on them.
A lot of people are going to feel elbow and wrist issues. Mm-hmm. And again, I fucking hate it, but they're like, oh man, it's my elbow, it's my wrist, what do I do? And it's like, what caused those things to flare up in the following days?
Right.
Let's go back to that example. You're fatiguing your triceps doing all the work.
Mm-hmm.
And since your muscles connect to the joints, that's why you feel the pain there.
Mm-hmm.
It's not an elbow pain. Your tricep's strained or overused. It's inflamed. It's tight. It's pulling on your tricep. So do you have an elbow problem? No, your tricep was overdeveloped and overused, and that's why your elbow hurts.
So I get questions on that with planks too. Like, I can't do a plank on my wrist because all the weight's in my wrist. I'm like, you just said it. All the weight's in your wrist. The weight should be in your pec, teres, your core.
Yep.
It's a core workout, right? So if it's the same thing. So if you're adding repetitive motion to it, your wrist is taking a beating if those muscles aren't on.
And yes, you have the workarounds. You do fist push-ups, this and that. But I'm like, that doesn't solve the weak mechanics that you have or the imbalances.
So for these shoulder tweaks real quick, what movement would you give as that cool down, like immediately after?
So here's what people
Within
need
a
to
day,
understand with FixFit is that movement is medicine, right? I'm just throwing out little catchy phrases and shit, because a lot of times when you get hurt or you have a pain, what's the first thing they tell you to do? Don't move.
Right.
Don't do it anymore. I have the opposite mindset. It's you're going to be doing the same movement patterns with no intensity, getting the right muscles to fire. So let's just say you did we program this a lot for recovery. So let's just say you did a shit ton of push-ups in Murph. Ideally, I would want you to do the same push-up motion with the right muscles right afterwards.
Yeah.
Right? Because you talked about last week your deadlift, where you tweaked your back on a press, and in that motion you flared up your erector, right? Because you lean back in a press, and then you still had to do 3 attempts at a heavy deadlift. So you did the heavy deadlifts, you were kind of gun shy, you're like, hope it doesn't get worse.
Yep.
But since you're doing the movements with the right muscles, that back actually released.
Yep.
So it's the same process.
And then what do we do after? The leg burning. Like
exactly. We did even more. We did even more squat and deadlift and oblique patterns. Mm-hmm. And then everyone's back got even
till
looser.
Burnout, which everybody was complaining that their legs were burning after, where we were like, good. Because tomorrow you'll wake up and your back won't be burning, and sure enough, that's what
Here's
happened.
my science, my bro science with this, is that when you have, let's say again, that since we're talking about that, tricep is flared up right afterward, the muscle's guarded for a reason. There's a tight knot, and we used to do this, go stretch your tricep, dig a lacrosse ball into it. But I always tell people, there's a reason why it's guarded. It's to protect it from ripping off the bones.
Right.
It's like, the only way to get that to relax, other muscles have to fire so that your body can say, oh, okay, we're good. We have, the pec and the teres on, and then that tricep can finally just relax. Digging a lacrosse ball is going to, manually force that muscle to release a little bit, but when you stand back up or whatever, it's like tightens up again because your body is smart.
And the next day when you wake up.
Oh, dude, that thing's going to be a rock because nothing else is firing. So what I'm saying is the recovery is do this, stand up. You don't even have to lay on the ground. You stand up, flex the right part of your glutes, your obliques, and then do some air push-ups standing. But the intent is to fire the right muscles, because even though you did a lot of push-ups, they're probably 200 push-ups with the wrong muscles. Yeah. So a lot of times when we program the next day, more FixFit push-ups, I'm like, I'm pretty sure you didn't use any of these muscles, so it's not even the same type of movement pattern. Yeah. So for the push-up recovery, it'd be that. It's like you're gonna stand and flex with your pec, teres, and oblique. Get those muscles to pump, and that's the thing that's confusing. Is people like they're trying to recover or rest. If you pump the right muscles, that's the whole kind of premise with this FixFit Jack thing. It's that you're gonna recover faster. I call it a reset. Yeah. You're like jump starting all the correct muscles after a brutal workout. It's gonna be kind of wonky. It's in your neck and your tricep. Yep. So.
And I would say from my end, for recovery, when you do pump these muscles, that doesn't necessarily mean the lactic acid is getting flushed out of there. So if you wake up the next day, it's definitely day 2, still feeling tight and achy in there, don't be afraid to use like a little bit of heat. So I always go into a sauna. Epsom salt baths are good. Soak in your jacuzzi. It's Memorial Day weekend, Yep. Make sure you get some heat to kind of just flush that out, and then you got to really hydrate on top of it. Yeah. Because a lot of us I know I am, going to be drinking Bloody Marys after the Murph, so I got to get back on the hydration gang after that.
I do. It's kind of weird because it's like it's a fitness event, this and that. But
yeah,
if you plan to drink before and after Murph, I recommend doing like a quarter Murph, half Murph.
Yeah.
Because
don't do the.
Yeah, because you're already your body exactly right, and it's something to be said. It's not like, oh, I am drinking before and after, so I have to pay it off and burn it off.
Yeah.
But you're asking for those really bad injuries to happen.
Yeah.
So it's like it's okay to go less because you're having more fun, but you're being smarter with training. You know what I mean? It's kind of a weird way to think. Usually people are like, I'm gonna drink and eat a lot, so I better do a full Murph.
It's true.
It's like, no, do half a Murph because you're already in a weakened state, and then when you throw on a bunch of alcohol afterwards.
Yeah. And we're done early. You're gonna go home, nap, like when you wake up from that, or when you're done chilling out at home, like start hydrating like crazy.
So on your end, here's the combo, right? It's not all or nothing, or it's a process. So right after Murph, I would tell people to move properly, to reset movement patterns, get the right muscles firing. But I usually recommend, talk to you, Melissa, Brittany, to get...
Yeah.
You need to do mobility right away to help with the recovery.
Rarely do we see...
Like SMR type stuff, foam rolling.
Yeah, rarely do we see people that are going so hard at it that they need to book a massage ASAP for it, because it's mostly at our gym just fun. But if you are feeling like, man, that upper trap is just strained, and June usually means busy time for people, school's ending, vacations are starting, and if you feel like everything's just kind of been compounding and that workout flared it up, come get a tune-up adjustment, get a massage that can't hurt, man.
Yeah.
But rarely do we get like an emergency call for that. Like, I tweaked it bad on this. It's just joint pain or muscle pain more than joint pain.
It's kind of like the blueprint of the body is like we're getting these right muscles to fire, and we want to roll out and stretch the wrong muscles.
Yeah, I'll tell people like that night you don't want to roll it out. Just do some heat.
That's
let it relax, hydrate.
People get so caught up in this is what we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
All this but that muscle's fucked up.
Yeah. No,
200 reps in that tricep, let's say. Okay, now you're gonna dig it out with the lacrosse ball.
Yeah, I think it's too early.
It's like, how is that?
Wait
even
a
in
day
common sense, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna flush it out. No, that thing is like.
And if you do have some kind of a tendonitis, we could do some Graston, some instrument-assisted, just tissue mobilization of it. Just
if there's one time to invest in your own recovery, it would be after crazy events.
Yeah. Because
you don't want to, like luck of the draw type of thing. Maybe I should roll this out. It's like you want to go to a professional. Go find a massage therapist.
Yeah, if you got a joint, like elbow, shoulder tweak,
and it's
real
still
bad,
fucked up for a week, you
can't turn. I remember, I think the first Murph I did, I had neck pain where I couldn't turn the next day because I did a lot of upper trap pull-ups and a lot of upper trap push-ups too. I just couldn't turn it off.
Yeah.
And I just don't think it was just not good at all, my techniques for anything, but...
I would say standing teres flex.
Yeah.
Would be
that's what I was going to say. Instead of like the air push-up, just doing that kind of pec firing with the hands in that prayer position.
Yep. Fire your pec and teres. There's more to it, but it makes it easy for you to do and focus on.
Real quick over lower body, because I know we practice some FixFit style squat in the air squat, right? Flexing your external obliques on the way down and not really necessarily worrying about getting ass to grass.
Mm-hmm.
But when people do ass to grass, they get a lot more quad and hip flexor pain.
Hip flexor pain and low back is going to be common because of the combo of running. Running is already a lot. Most people don't run, so a mile of running, then you do 300 push-ups, and then squats, and then you do another
run.
Your hip, you get all the run injuries all at once.
And the people going straight through it just did 300 squats.
Yeah, they're running.
Ass to grass, all VMO, all quad, not VMO.
Outside quad, yeah.
Outside quad,
lower
hip
back.
Flexor, lower back. That gets tight, and then they go run. And our run has a hill. Yeah. So,
I would lay down on the ground, and then just pull your feet up so that you're laying down and your lower back's pinned to the ground.
Yeah.
Like you're about to do a sit-up. And then just work on firing your side abs, external obliques, and then learn how to breathe through it.
Yep.
Because that's the whole idea again, is if those muscles are on, your psoas, hip flexors, and erectors, lower back will finally turn off.
Yep.
It's that simple.
Just breathe and fire it
The reason I say breathing is because that there's a difference, which if you start the process, you'll learn. If you lay down like that sit-up position and you crunch up almost with your side abs, it's not a 1 rep max, hold your breath, flex. Because then you're just tightening everything up as well. You're stressed out. you engage your side abs, your obliques, and your lower abs. But if you breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth, those muscles should stay on for like 10 breaths or more.
Yep. You should be able to keep those muscles on for all 10 breaths.
So if you take a deep breath and then they turn off, then that means you're not engaging them.
Right. And on the expiration, if you really fire it out, you'll get more firing of your lower abs.
And this is going back to that conversation where a diaphragmatic breath is not the same as just being able or to have the ability to flex your external obliques.
True.
So that's where the powerlifting world is like.
The breathing is just a nice cue for it. Really.
It's a good thing to kind of kill the extra space.
Yeah.
But the powerlifter's already trained to engage those muscles.
Right.
So someone that's not as familiar will think it just. And now they feel tension, but it's a false sense of security because it's all air and no activation.
Right.
So just that's a reminder that breathing is important. The breathing's not bad or good. It's understanding the intent, right?
Hopefully you were thinking about the breathing during your body weight squats, but doubtful.
That's a good, it's kind of late now, but again, it's like if you breathe while you're running with the obliques on and you've trained it, that's when you're able to prevent all the injuries. Mm-hmm. Same with the squats.
You don't want people doing like some single leg pistons or
no, if they do pistons post, they would do no shoes and both legs down, like a full piston with both legs.
Like Morse.
Yeah, just because it's like you want to keep backing down the load. Doing a single leg piston, that's a lot of body weight for.
Yeah.
You've already had a ton of volume.
Right.
It's being able to like hold a air squat. We call it a piston because you'll go halfway down, like to parallel, and then you're gonna fire 3 main muscles together. That's the point. Yeah. So you fire your obliques and VMO, inside quad, and the glute max.
Yeah.
If you fire all 3 together and you keep pulsing it that way, so you stay down there and you just flex those 3.
Yep.
Then again, those other areas like outside quad, erectors, psoas that are causing the pain can finally relax.
Yeah, we tried to do 2 sets of 30 of those after the max PR day. Mm-hmm. I got to like 15. I got to 20 on the first round and 15 on the second round. I was like, dude, this is real bad. But woke up the next day like no hip flexor, no low back tightness.
It's bad because it burns.
It burns so good.
And again, I hit 455 on that CrossFit total, and then that's a lot. That's the most I've ever lifted in my life, and I've been training a lot. And then doing those drills, I felt nothing. Yeah. Dude, I'm so thick right now.
So thick.
What other, let's see, run injuries are important too for Murph.
Yeah, I would say that little piston squat is a good idea because
that'll fix your run issue too.
Yeah, people got tight Achilles after they run.
That's the thing is they're so...
tight calves.
They pinpoint the pain. That's where they feel it. It's like, I have shin splints, I have, plantar, I have whatever, but it's all because the muscles weren't firing, and then it overloads those at one point.
Yeah, we probably should have done a pre-episode because now I'm like, I wear running shoes on that day because it's like there's nothing there CrossFit style that we should be doing. Like I need to wear my Metcons because it's like if I run a mile in my Metcons, it's just like slap all the way down up and down the hill. My shins will get lit up.
But it's important to not have the pre because people aren't going to really listen until they're in pain.
Yeah, so it's like...
And even for us, right?
I always work backwards from them, and they'll be like, my left shin was tight like the whole time, or my left Achilles...
They have to experience the pain. They did Murph, now these things hurt.
Yeah, I'm like, did you run in your Metcons or your what are the Reebok ones called? Nanos. Did you run in your Nanos? Like, yeah. I'm like, that thing's just slapping all over. Like, you have no cushion at all.
It's like a case study, right? It's like the people that have been working on their FixFit to help their training can now apply it. So, like, we have people saying, like, oh, my knee always hurts when I run. We've been doing a lot of those sled glute drills, and the pain's gone. So, now they're putting it to the test.
Right.
And the people that have never done anything, it's like, it's control group. It's like, which one is going to have less wear and tear?
And post-Memorial Day, we will be, doing brunch, probably going to the beach, hanging out with my wife's off work that day, so we got to go do something,
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't really have time for this recovery, so next morning when you wake up, this is the kind of stuff you want to start worrying about. Maybe doing some kickbacks to fire your glutes before you go to work that day.
Some oblique stuff, or it's just enough to buffer it.
Yeah, you got to turn on the main muscle groups, the pecs, the external obliques with your breathing, maybe even just walking up and down the stairs, focusing on that.
While you're driving to work
the next day.
carries and pecs.
Yep. If you're in the car right now driving to work, Tuesday morning, flex your pecs into that steering wheel, bring those shoulders down, try to feel that upper trap starting to stretch a little bit. Hold those. I would do every hour on the hour for the first half of your morning, just to avoid it becoming a problem by like lunchtime, and then
8 hours of sitting, if that's in front of a computer, if that's what you do, you're like, come on.
That's the worst kind of thing you can do after work.
Or if you walk all the time for work, and then you've already done all that, and you've already had these conditions, like your knees hurting.
Yeah.
You got to fire the glute. You got to fire the inside quad.
Yeah. If your job is to stand and you're a nurse or something, you should be doing kickbacks throughout the day at work after, and then go to the gym that night. That's the other thing. People will skip the gym the next day thinking, I'm too sore.
Movement is the medicine, right? Lack for a better term, because it's like you have to keep moving.
Yeah. To
not the old school mindset to flush it out, but you're rewiring movement patterns. Right. At a certain point of Murph, your movement pattern is going to be shitty, and then maybe it started shitty, but the next workouts should be to like rewire the system.
Right.
Start moving again, lightweight, no weight,
whatever. It's just so easy to miss that next day.
Because you're like, I'm so sore.
Just had family in town for the 3-day weekend, or I traveled. Beat up from Monday's morning workout. It's so easy just to skip that day, and it's probably the worst thing you can do for yourself.
Here's the mindset, right? Like, I just did all this pull-up, push-up, squat. I guarantee you use 0 lat. So it's okay the next day to do more like lat pull-downs.
Yep.
It's okay to do floor presses where you're crunched in, pushing into a med ball.
Right.
Because you're not using your pec and teres in the 200 push-ups, I guarantee it.
Yeah.
And then same with like doing more lightweight, sandbag squats or hug a medicine ball. Because again, just because you did 300 squats a day before, you're training a whole different muscle group.
Exactly.
And it's better for you to train those muscles to recover faster. So don't think of it as like, I'm so sore. You're sore in all the wrong muscles. So the next day, if you work out, think of it as a whole different, like, you just did arm day. Now it's, leg day.
Yeah. It's perfect. And if you really tweaked yourself, low back, I would say come see me or a chiro or your massage therapist if it's bad after like 3 days. Like, it's not going away. But we've rarely seen that in our history.
It's not that. Like
it's always muscle
it's a lot of it's a lot of volume, but it's not like a 1 rep max deadlift, so it shouldn't be that bad.
Yeah. So
if you're pushing past the limits, and that's really it's a negligent thing. Like what do you?
Yeah, I'm more pushing past my limits. You know what I mean? Just half Murph. I'm just thinking about the Bloody Marys and pancakes after, so that's the only reason I'm there.
It's gonna happen. You're gonna be sore, but try to keep moving.
Yeah. That's easier. So if I'm not in the gym Tuesday, the 28th.
Don't take
28th.
Don't take that and go do another crazy workout.
Yeah.
When I say move again for recovery purposes, is you have to with the right muscles.
Right.
Because if you do a lot more pull-ups or lat pull-downs with the same shitty muscles, now you're just asking for
feeding
it. Feeding the imbalance.
Man, speaking of feeding, I'm getting hungry.
I'm always hungry.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not. Because I'm always
feeding yourself.
This morning, too, I looked at Andrew.
I've eaten enough for you in the past 2 weeks.
Full.
All right. Well, I hope you guys had a good Memorial Day. It sounds... I'll be in the CrossFit Sun parking lot drinking Bloody Marys. And what else am I going to bring? Mimosas for the brunch?
Yeah. We'll see how many people sign up, but we'll have all that.
Pancakes?
We'll have it all that.
All that? Oh, man, I love brunch.
Like a buffet.
Breakfast food's my favorite food. So...
I like breakfast.
Hope you guys enjoyed it. Message us if you have questions about your elbow or your neck or your knee or Achilles.
By now, there's so many FixFit jacked workouts, which is exactly what I'm saying with doing movements that are going to rewire the system.
Yeah.
Look back on the last 2-3 weeks now. There's you can try some of those, and it should be immediate.
Yeah.
So if your upper trap is tight or if your elbow hurts and you're doing the right movement patterns like these FixFit Jack workouts the way it's intended, you should feel an immediate feedback of it feeling looser, like the teres carry. Now if it's still tight, that means you're just doing it wrong, or you're doing it too heavy. You need to slow down and flex. So just kind of don't.
Well, what's funny is that people will come in, if they do come in and say Murph did this to me, it's like, no, Murph woke up what was already happening. It's only a 2-mile run.
That's
right?
what I was thinking with the running. Oh, I have a shin splints or a plantar. It's like it's from 1 mile.
It's from the Murph. It's like no, 2 miles and the Murph did not do this, but it woke it up because you fatigued your glutes and your obliques on your
squats.
300 squats, and then you didn't fire it. So now you found where your weakness is. So look at the positive of it rather than just symptom chasing.
That's what I'm saying. Use Murph as like a case study.
Yeah.
Or use a diagnostics for yourself in terms of mechanics. It's like see what breaks down.
Yeah.
That's perfect. that's the goal of life is like
see where you break.
Controlled tests, right?
And when it hurts, drink up a little. Have fun. It's Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, no big deal.
3-day weekend, and then it's almost summer. I think Memorial Day weekend's people's favorite because it's like a taste of summer.
Yeah.
You got Monday off, and it's like everybody's excuse to barbecue and stuff. Yep. And it's like it's almost here. It's almost here. I think like Poway Unified, our area has like 2 weeks after that. So countdown, man. And then you're gonna be full-time dad mode again.
All day, every day.
All right, man.
Message us with questions.
Message us.
If you can't figure it out, let us know.
We got to get better about asking for reviews. So,
like last week, again, if something helped you, if you did do one of these exercises that I posted, just share it.
Yeah, we'll be taking a ton of video of it that weekend.
Please share it. It's just like always. Yeah, that it just helps more people. That's all it is.
It's one of our shorter episodes, so you got to the end. I know you did. Maybe leave a review on iTunes, YouTube, a little 5-star, little review, like actual written. Just Mark's thick with 3 C's, and Ian's hair is great. Even though I'm wearing a hat again, damn it. Gotta start highlighting my attributes.
You keep
way better
saying
than
your
I
hair
keep
is
saying.
great, but no one sees it, so it's all a lie.
You see it in my office. Swing by anytime, guys. At Cook Cairo, at Mark's Son Fix Fit. I always want to say FixFitness. At Mark's Son Fix Fit. When you search on iTunes, we're at the FixFitness, guys. You have to put it all in one word, otherwise it doesn't come up. But leave us a review on there. Let us know how we're doing.
Have a good week of recovering.
Oh yeah, good luck. We're out. That was only 36.